Hello, I am Florence Carmela, and I'm here with my partner in crime, James Patrick, and we are here with our good friend, JL Rothstein. And I am looking out the window right now, and Jen, I know you're in Massachusetts. Here in Connecticut, it is snowing,
Yes,
and I am shocked because we had some really nice spring-like
I
days, and
know.
now
I
it's
know.
snowing, Jen.
I know. It was like 70 degrees here the day before
Yes.
yesterday. The sun was out. It did all this melting, and now the snow is back. So hopefully it
Yes.
doesn't stick, as they say. Hopefully it just kind of melts upon landing.
Yes. And I will say that my mom predicted this. Don't get too comfortable or too happy with
Yeah.
spring. Make sure James knows that the snow is coming back. He doesn't understand. It doesn't stay this way. It's too early. So my mom was right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to quickly do a little update on the Nancy Guthrie case because everyone knows we have been following this since day one. And everyone also knows I love JLR Investigates. I
Yeah.
watch him on YouTube and I also follow him on X. And I suggest anyone who's into true crime, especially this case, should follow him. Jen, I know you said that you do as
Yeah, I
well.
do. Yep.
Yes, he came out an hour ago with a post saying that they found a pair of tan pants and a knee brace located near Annie and Tommaso's home. And Annie is Savannah Guthrie's sister, Nancy's daughter. Now, he said he called the authorities and that they reported it, and nothing else has been said since. Now, again, nobody knows what that means. Nobody
Mm,
knows who that belongs to. But saying that it's near Annie and Tommaso's house kind of made
right.
everybody kind
Yeah.
of wonder. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there that JLR, he's a great follow on both YouTube and X. And he did report this, and it kind of made me feel a certain way. I don't know, Jen, what do you think of that?
Oh, it's just so scary because we've just gone so long now. You've just sort of lost all hope that this poor woman is going to be found safe and sound. You want that desperately, but you just as the weeks are ticking by, and it was so sad to just see the dwindling of the media, and then to
Yes.
see it like eventually just get knocked off the news all altogether. And now you just have these podcasts that are staying down there and staying involved and dedicated to see it through. Thank goodness there's somebody down there. But yeah, it's just very heartbreaking. And I know Savannah Guthrie returned to work. You know, she went and visited her. She's not working full time, but she went back and visited the studio and saw everybody, and that made big news too. And it just had this awful feeling of everyone's just moving on with this completely unresolved.
No, it's really,
Yeah.
really sad. And a lot of us still think that there's family members involved,
Yeah.
even though the police have said they're not being investigated right now, which we think's kind of bunk, and that they are investigating. They're just not announcing it. So it's, excuse me, it's really just still just as shocking. We all have parents and grandparents that are out there, and boy, it's just so hopefully they get it. It's such a downer thing to see. So, on the upside, though, that we see, I wanted to give a big shout out to a teenage a friend's daughter who's went through some pretty extreme surgery. Braylon's doing really good, so I promised her parents I'd give Braylon a big shout out and them. So much love to them, and Braylon, get better.
Praying for
Uh,
you.
and we ask that everyone pray for them. She's a great girl, real fighter, and she's going to do just fine. And thank you for all the surgeons that did such a good job.
Mm.
Uh, and and we got, yeah, it is sad.
Yeah.
Our great friend Willie. Yeah, Willie, I'm with you 1,000,000%. It's rough thing for the Guthries, but uh, but like I said, for Braylon, and also we Florence's dear aunt Elsa had a birthday this week, so we wanted to give her a
Yes.
big
Happy
shout out.
birthday.
She's the best. So
So sweet. So
thank you
Happy
so
sweet.
much.
birthday.
Yeah, Elsa, we love you. And
Yes.
uh, now Florence and I was up. I actually did the funniest live ever. I was in gym shorts and a tank top, and I had a blanket over me, and I did a live when Maxx Crosby.
Yes.
That's dedication right there. But when Maxx Crosby's deal, the famous deal in the NFL that everybody's talking about, and we And thank you all. Khaled and I were shocked at the views last night. Most watched show we've ever done. Thank you so much for all the love that you've given us. So, and Khaled, we had talked about it. We said that he is not going to be traded now because he's damaged goods. And sure enough, the Raiders came out and said we're not trading him, and no team is going to trade him unless they give him hardly anything to deal with. So, of course, the Raiders come out and say, yay, he's for the Raiders again. He's back.
He said, I'm a Raider.
Yeah, and then Max put out a big thing. I'm so happy to be a Raider. Go Raiders. And I'm telling the fans, are you kidding me? He cannot get signed or traded because now he's got all this baggage from the injury.
Yeah.
But in Raiderland, it's a different story. But it's so funny how the NFL in other countries, it's cricket, soccer, or football, as my UK friends always chastise me for not saying. It's funny how sports reacts, and if you love a team, you just blindly back them on what they do, and if you don't love a team, not so much. So I know the Chiefs have been talking about a Saints icon, and boy, Florence, there's a lot of uproar online about that.
Yeah, I saw some posts where it looks like Cam Jordan, who everyone knows is a legendary Saints player, apparently he's possibly being wooed by the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess they have their eye on him, and they want him, it looks like. Now, of course, nobody knows, no announcement's been made. But I know, James, you said that you had kind of a take on that. Why would they want Cam Jordan?
Well, Cam Jordan, the problem in the football world is that you're pretty much they look at your age after 30, which is kind of scary that you're old at 30. But in the NFL world, you are, and he's, I believe, going to be 39. So he's up there for a player. But the thing is that he's an icon in New Orleans. He's probably, other than Drew Brees, the favorite son of New Orleans. They love him. We have a lot of New Orleans Saints fans that follow us, and it wasn't necessarily the Chiefs. It was the players, Patrick Mahomes, some of the others. They made a huge thing. Cam, come on to KC. We love you, all this stuff. And he would be a great fit there. But it does look like Cam Jordan, after all these years and dedicated service, he's done a lot for the community. He's a great guy. So it's tough to lose a guy like that. For the fans, I think it's tougher even than the players, where they have a lot of money. They could go otherwhere. They go through issues, but still – it's a lot better when you got 20, 30, 40 million in the bank to have change. But yeah, the fans do take it, hard, and we wish Cam Jordan well in whatever team he does go to. And boy, if it's the player's way, because Kelsey is going to re-sign, so he's going to play another year. And now if they could get Cam Jordan, because the Chiefs were horrible last year. So the hopes
they need him.
Yeah. So the hopes are that they can get back to where they were, because the NFL was a little rough last year. It was not the greatest level of play, but that's kind of in the NFL situation, all the things going on. And then we have, who would have thought this? Selena news.
Selena, I know TMZ reported. Jen, I don't know if you were a fan. I know I loved the movie.
Yes.
Jennifer Lopez was the lead. She played Selena. Very sadly, she was unalived in 1995 by a super fan, I guess the president of her fan club, from what I remember, and that was over 30 years ago. Her sister has an issue with, I believe it's pronounced Shein, capital SHEIN is
it's
the brand.
Shine.
Is it Shine?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple of different ways to pronounce it I saw online. I was kind of worried because I didn't want to mess it up. But her sister doesn't like the fact that they're using her likeness. They're using Selena's photos on their products, and it's all over the website, apparently. This is
and social media. I don't think you can be on social media very long without seeing one of them. The likeness is uncanny to her earlier photos when she was younger.
And that's what they're upset about. I don't think you can just do that. I don't know the rules, but I could see why they would be upset.
Yeah.
I would be very upset, not just because she's a loved one who was famous and all that, but she passed away the way she passed away. And I know the family obviously feels very protective, but if a company, and again, this is alleged, I don't know, I wasn't there, wasn't privy, I'm just going by what I had read in the article, I would be upset too.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be allowed, but then again, I don't know all the rules. I do agree with you, Jen. You see it on social media. It is
Yeah.
very uncanny, and I know it's on the website as well. I don't know what the outcome will be, but I know that she is being very vocal about it and letting them know that she is not happy.
Yeah, Shine is a Chinese company they sell really cheap products, inexpensive products, and some do say cheap, but it's very cheap. Some of the stuff that they buy, I've never bought from them. I don't know. What's the other one? It starts with a T that everybody uses. Temu uses. They're kind of the rival to Temu. And a lot of times the Chinese companies will fudge on laws because they're there and they're in different countries. So they don't. I've seen the likeness of other people in there, athletes and stuff, to sell athletic equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not afraid of breaking a law. Now, this brings up a really interesting thing. A lot of places are now. This was a case in, of course, California techie kids. They had a war between. It was a ritzy school, and they had a war between students. Not a physical war, but I mean, they hated each other. There were certain groups, they got the jocks and the stoners and all that stuff,
Sure.
or whatever they call them. They started using AI to make porno with their enemies in the porn. So they caught it, and they actually arrested some kids because that's highly illegal. But the thing is, this is what's scary. The Hollywood just hired their first AI actress. And obviously, whoever owns the copyright of that person, whoever created it, that's who they own. In fact, what's funny is there's a military girl that everyone's laughing at because she has 1 million followers. She's this tiny little thing with big chest, and it's an AI. And they're putting this person with government officials and everything, so it looks like this person's real. So all these weird men are going on there saying, God, follow her, she's beautiful, and it's an AI. So it's really weird. Other countries are passing laws where no one could use your image, which I think is a great law, because someone could do some enemy stuff, and it's already happened with celebrities, and it's really scary. Also, the Hollywood studios are trying to block it, but famous people are trying to block their images from ever being used. And that's the big thing that they're doing. And they have passed some laws, but some are still fudging on it, saying this doesn't look exactly like them or whatever. AI is a real scary thing because you could do things there. I think a third of the posts on Twitter are AI and people think it's real. And it's so scary what's going on.
It's getting so good. It's getting harder. Like when it first came out, it was somewhat easy to spot. It'd be like, oh, this clearly is. Or if whatever you're watching is so far-fetched, you could say, oh, that's clearly AI. I'm not going to watch it. You could go past it. But people are getting more sophisticated, and the stuff is looking more and more real. And it is very scary. And if they tweak it a little bit, is that going to be enough to say that's not that person as everyone else watching it thinks that it is? I think what's interesting with Selena's sister is that, and what's kind of dumb of the company, is that they went to them first privately and said, stop using the image. Like, if you don't stop, like cease and desist, if you don't stop, we're going to keep coming for you. Like, we're not going to let it alone. If you go to their website, there's 1 million pictures. There's 1 million models. Like, why did you push it back in their face like we're not afraid of you? That was just dumb, because now she's going to have American sentiment on her side, and the people buying Chinese junk are Americans. So those are Americans. That's why that website's here, is because it's Americans buying those cheap knockoffs. That's what they're buying on that website. And if you turn the sentiments of America against you because you wouldn't just take this down and make this easy on this family who's lost this loved one. And we all know you never get over that loved one, no matter how many years it's been. So it's like for them to just kind of give them the middle finger, they almost deserve what's coming. Like if they don't stop, they could really see harm in their business. But Jim's right. I mean, there's no, where are you going to take that to court? You can go to international court, but China's not going to abide by that.
It's going to cost a fortune. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I think a lot of these people do it. And the Cantonese, the father who passed away, he's been very aggressive. And I think the rest of the family isn't as aggressive with him on lawsuits like this. And I followed them. I believe Chris, her former Selena's ex-husband, follows me. So we follow each other on social media. So he's a nice guy, very open, and he's very protective of Selena. And he says he's really never gotten over it. It's messed up his relationships. He was married, had a kid, and he said you have someone that's just so perfect for you and so sweet, and then this happens.
So young. I mean, she's so young.
And he said, I'll never forget when I left, I should have said, don't go alone. And her father actually hinted that. And Selena said, no, she's okay. She's okay. She'll never do anything. And of course, this, I don't even want to say, it starts with a Y. I don't even want to say her name. But remember, during the trial, she started spreading rumors about Selena, that Selena had all this plastic surgery, that she was having an affair with a Mexican doctor, and that's where she was getting her plastic surgery. And all these crazy lies. And then she kept saying, well, I have proof. Well, why haven't you showed it? I don't have to.
And think about it. That was like the 90s. That was the 90s. Yes. So, I mean, it wasn't so easy to hide plastic surgery. Now these women can fly off to, Aspen and get their plastic surgery and recover for a week or two and come back and you would never know. Back then in the 90s, that would have taken you out quite a while and there would have been evidence of that. I just find that hard to believe. It was expensive. It was hard to get. It was hard to recover from. It was not the technology today. So I think sometimes people forget it was an outlandish claim in 1994. It was like, what? There's no evidence to support that in the way she looks or anything that happened. So, it's a heartbreak thing from beginning to end. And I think this is just the love of her sister, just trying to the end, keep her image and her memory in good standing. And I think that she's smart to come out to the media because I think if she gets the American sentiment to turn on that company, then maybe they'll comply.
Yeah, it's and Shine someone DM me, Shine's like a ghetto Temu, and Temu's doesn't have that great of a reputation. So
yeah. But I believe it's all knockoffs, Jim. I believe it's supposed to be like, here's
they
a
are.
fake Fendi bag. It's like, do you remember New York in the 90s where all the guys with the tables and they have all the fake Fendi bags and they have all the fake Calvin Klein and you go down and you get your cheap knockoff bag for $20? I mean, I think that's what they are. I think that's
what happens is that Alibaba's the same way.
Yeah.
What they do is it's very popular to get things from there because there's no brand. And what they do is drop shippers on Amazon. Yep. You'll go on there and you'll get a bottle opener or a can opener, and you'll look and it's $7 or $8. Well, they bought it for $1.
Yeah,
they'll buy 100 for $1 and then buy them for $100 and then sell them for $8. And then after Amazon takes their $90,000 of fees, they have $1 left. But a lot of people got rich off of drop shipping, and now it's a lot harder to do it. But that's why these companies are so popular. I get a thing from Temu all the time. Here's $200. Please do this, or, give us a shout out or something. And I've really never responded, but it is pretty interesting. But like I said, the way businesses are being run in America, all over, it's just, I just hate the greed. I hate the nonsense. It's just unbelievable. Like our health insurance, don't get me started on it. I just got a thing from my medical magazine that the health companies are going to make $4.5 trillion this year. Trillion, not billion, trillion. give us 4.5 trillion, we'll all live to be 90. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's just crazy. But also I think what's interesting is that you're seeing, and we talked about this with artists, and I even see it with YouTube, with podcasting. A lot of writers are now using characters that are AI, and people think they're real. People even think that's the writer. I saw one writer that I actually did a search on, and she's an attractive lady, nothing big, but then you look who her picture is. Whoa, what happened? And I just don't get it. AI is not real, and I would rather just be real. Like I said, when we did TMZ, we're not 25 anymore. I mean, it's just, it's not, we're not going to go on bathing suits or anything. So you have to just accept who you are. Appreciate who you are, be thankful and proud of who you are, and go on.
And
I mean, to think that you're going to show up somewhere, right? If you're an artist, you've got to go to a show, you've got to come on a podcast, you've got to get interviewed somewhere. You're going to be in a newspaper, a magazine. You hope you're at multiple shows with the general public. I mean, when they look at you and you're so vastly different than your picture, I don't know. I think that's somehow worse, than if you just showed up as you and met them and said, yeah, this is what I look like. And it's not like little touch ups. This is like major.
This lady looked. It looked better than she probably looked 20 years ago. I mean, it was just like ridiculous. And it's kind of like when I talk to young people, they go on all these crazy dating sites because it's weird. Anyone under 40 that's single thinks every site now is a dating site. Twitter, Instagram. I mean, it's just crazy. But the thing is that they'll show, the guy will show pictures or the girl will show pictures, and it's like, who in the heck? That's Brad Pitt. That's Brad Pitt when he's 25. What do you mean? No, this is him. He's real.
Yeah,
And then they go
and
meet him.
he's single. Yeah, okay.
And he looks like my dad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But that is funny because you're going to be face to face,
Yeah.
or like we are on video right now. You know you're going to be seen. So it doesn't make any sense to me to do it so drastically. And like James said, so obvious. I mean, if it's a famous actor and, you're making yourself look like a famous actor in real life, when they meet you, they're going to be like, okay, this is
Although
not
they've been
who
doing that on the dating sites for a long time, where people are putting fake pictures up and then you go meet them and they're 25 years older and 300
you
pounds
want to talk
heavier
about you want to talk about true crime. The dating site crimes, there's a couple channels on YouTube. This was the most evil. It was a serial unaliver, I guess we have to call it. Also, everything we say is for entertainment purposes. Nothing. We are not curing cancer. We are not doing police reports.
Yeah, we're not there. No. We don't know.
We're just giving opinion, having a good time.
Yeah.
Just want to reiterate that people are beating on me for that. But anyway, yeah. If you look at these things, there was one in, I believe, Southern California where he would do, the pictures were of a girl just stone cold, fox, and so she would say, I'm kind of naughty, and I'm eccentric. So she would have them meet with me. I'm in the garage. So they would go in the garage. The guy would unalive him.
Oh,
it was unbelievable.
horrible.
And he got off on it. And there was also a group, I believe in Georgia, that they were serial daters, and they would rob people. So they would go on dates and then go rob the guy's house because they weren't there anymore.
Right, right.
They've had a lot of ambushes, ambushes with people, with husbands and all these other things. So you can't, like I said, we talked about this before. In Japan, at the bars, when you go to a bar, they actually have a specialized cover that airtights your drink, and you could put the straw through it and it still stays airtight. And the bars give it to the girls because if you drop something on it or you put any liquid on it, it turns blue.
Yeah.
So you got these pretty yellow, pink tops or whatever.
That should be all over the world.
Yeah.
I know.
We had a famous case in Marin County where a lawyer who was very prominent from San Francisco, he liked. He was dating this young girl, met her a couple times, and finally the bartender. He went to the bathroom, and the bartender grabbed her hand and says, "Get out of here. I'm
Yeah.
calling the cops." And she goes, "What are you talking about?" "Oh no, he's really nice. Great looking guy." And she ended up the waitress, the cocktail waitress, gave him and her another drink, and took the drink that he had and kept it for the police to get it tested. This guy was a serial, sexual assaulter, and he ended up doing 5 years in prison.
Oh,
But thank God for the
Yeah.
for the waitress that it's just unbelievable. What I just, maybe I'm just too naive or dumb or whatever, but when I was young, it was like, to do any of these things, I mean, it didn't even cross my mind, or even I couldn't even imagine anyone doing it. And what a wimp! You got to drug women to get them. That's pathetic.
This is like stuff you see in the movies.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
know.
like anything from real life, but now, unfortunately, it is real life for some people.
And when
Yeah.
I went to University of Cincinnati, I was at the sleep disorders school. So I was there learning, and people always make fun of me. "You went to school to sleep?" No, we were learning about sleep disorders. So we were one of the only labs in the country that could use GHB, the rape drug.
Yeah.
Date rape drug. And what we wanted to use it for different types of sleeping disorders like narcolepsy
Yeah.
and other things, and they were using it. And I remember the doctor in the research day, I was asking him some questions, and he goes, "This drug is dangerous. They should never let this out." And it is. It's a crazy drug. So
Well, the worst part is the not remembering the next morning,
Yeah.
right? The fact that your memory is fragmented, and that's the dangerous part of it. Is
So
you don't
scary.
remember, you don't know what happened, you don't remember, you don't know how you got wherever you are when you wake up at home or someplace else, or what happened while you were doing that. And I think that that's the worst. I think
Yeah,
that that's
'cause
the worst part.
and the problem is how do you prosecute someone if you don't remember what happened or who they are?
Yeah.
Now you're screwed, and it
Yeah.
has a real long half-life, so it really stays in your brain. And I've never taken it, never will. I was never a drug guy, even though in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, drugs were very prominent. If you were in Marin County, you did the rich drugs, and if you were in everywhere else, you did pot. So it was, and I drank coffee, so drank coffee and wine and beer, but yeah, and it's scary. I don't understand, and there's probably people even watching that. You lie, Jim. I like it. No, you shouldn't do that stuff, because boy, it does affect your body a lot. Except unless you're what's his name, Keith Richards from unless you're
Rolling
him.
Stones.
It makes you live longer. So yeah, my grandfather used to smoke a pipe every day and drink a shot of brandy every day, and he was 94, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor's just like,
Yeah. Forget
"What?"
it.
He goes,
Do
"Why are
whatever
you
you're
here?"
doing.
Yeah, what are you going to say to him?
He goes, "You should be telling me what to do." So yeah, it's just unbelievable. But my
Yep.
grandfather had the greatest genes in the history of the world. But low blood,
Well,
his
hopefully you
pressure
got
was
some.
perfect.
Hopefully you got some of those
I don't
genes.
know. I don't know. But he was such a character. But it was funny. When you get elderly, I guess you really hoard stuff. When he passed away, we had cleaned up the house. There must have been 10 boxes of See's candy.
Oh,
It was under the bed where the
See's
dogs
candy's
were.
delicious.
Oh,
I
I
don't
love it.
blame
But
'em.
my grandfather,
Yeah.
I would
If
always
you're
bring him.
listening, you guys want a box of that, right? If See's
Oh,
Candy is
yeah.
listening,
If there's
send all
any
the See's Candy.
brand for C's, we're there, baby. We're
They're
there.
delicious.
But yeah, it's funny when you see some things like this too, because when you do there's a lot of channels that are into all this stuff, into drugs, and I even watch some just to learn about what people are thinking and stuff. But our country has very much changed. Our way of thinking with Gen X,
Yeah.
even part of millennials and part of boomers, they kind of look at the world the way the world is and just like, what is going on?
Well, if I could
Even the
piggyback,
pot isn't the same. Even the pot isn't the same. When you're talking about
Oh,
pot, the pot you smoked in the 70s, 80s, and 90s is not the pot of today. Like it is
yes,
all
I
chemicals and it's
agree.
all going into your brain. You have no idea what that's going to do to your brain in 10, 15, 20 years.
and then some of the dealers like to put fentanyl in the
Oh,
Yeah.
drugs to make
Yeah.
you even more addicted to it. So it's real.
Yeah.
And
If they
you're
don't kill
right.
you.
And I
You
love
know,
when and I love when pot people, and if you smoke pot, half my friends smoke pot. I don't.
yeah, of
from
It
course.
California,
doesn't bother me. I'm probably
especially
the only one in California that
California.
doesn't smoke it.
I was gonna
But
say.
so I'm not a snob. But it's funny when I did a little research on it in the 20s, I believe it was. They actually had pot being used for different types of mental and medical
Right.
issues.
Right. Yeah.
The problem was it had too much. The THC makes you high. And then I believe the GHB or whatever, not GHB, but the other substance, which escapes my mind, that's what has the medicinal stuff. Well,
Right.
what they were doing is they had grown pot that had taken away the THC. So you got much less high, but it gave you the medicinal part. Well,
Right.
no one would buy it because
No.
it didn't get them high.
Right.
So
Right.
in the 40s, when they started redoing it, now the level of THC is through the roof.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the other, and anyone that gets it, if you want to come in, I forget what it is. But the other part that's medicinal is hardly in it because I guess you can't have one without the other when you
I mean, they
you
would
grow
laugh
it.
at you, like the pot, your little pot plant that you would grow with a grow light in your back, whatever, in the 80s. If you brought that into a pot place now and said, "Hey, this is my homemade, homegrown plant pot," they would laugh you out of the building. Like the amount of chemicals that are in that. When people say to me, "Oh, pot's just a plant," that's about as much of a plant as the fake ficus your grandmother has in her
Yeah,
living room. There is nothing natural about
yeah,
what you're smoking. It is completely gone. And grow your own. If that's what you
yeah,
want, like grow your own. Don't be going in there and taking those chemicals. You have no idea what that's doing to the brain. You really don't. And this is only the last 10 years, really, 10 to 15 years that this got really, really bad. You have no idea what that's doing to brains of younger people in their teens and younger adults. You have no idea. You're going to wait 20 years and find out there's something really bad going on up there.
yeah. And the problem is too is that you don't know it's like cigarettes in the 50s.
Yeah.
Cigarettes. You had Fred Flintstone. Go on YouTube if you think
Oh,
I'm lying. Fred Flintstone is smoking Winston's
Everywhere.
with Barney in
Yes.
the back of the house saying that it doesn't get better than this. Andy Griffith, the Flintstones. So please stop telling me. And they had everyone conned, and that's what, to be honest with you, that's what killed my mom and dad quick because their
Yeah.
generation was taught to smoke, and they smoked at very early ages. And you're talking unfiltered, what did they call them? Cancer sticks, death
Yeah.
sticks. I mean, it was, but it was just so in. And of course, it was a stimulant. It makes you happy. There's
You
no
eat less.
side effects. Yeah, you eat less. There's no side effects unless it kills you. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, and you could say that the cigarettes of today, even same thing. Those are not the
Yep.
same as what your mother and father were
Vaping's
smoking.
not safe. We worry.
No.
When those came out, we told everybody, one, they're going to start selling bubble gum and all this for kids. No, we won't. We want this for adults. What's the first thing they did?
Yeah.
12-year-olds on YouTube had all these videos of little kids vaping and tasting it and doing reviews.
ugh,
Little kids. 12, 13 years old.
That's scary.
Oh, this bubble gum
should
has a
not be
great
allowed.
end taste in my mouth.
Ugh.
And believe you me, I partied, probably a lot more than I should have. And I remember going into a couple places where the favorite thing, I liked rap, so I went to a few Oakland parties, and there was guys that had gas masks that you would filter in the pot. And they have gas masks. One guy, they called him.
Florence is like, what is going on?
Oh,
How did
my-
this show go off the rails?
But the thing is that so
it always comes back to his party.
it's evolved.
California.
It's evolved into, so we did smoke a lot, but today when you see it, even Snoop Dogg said something about that. He goes, what he hated is people would get high and drive, and then
Yeah.
think because they haven't drank and drive, they're still okay.
No.
And
Right.
and we're not endorsing
No.
No,
growing pot.
absolutely
I'm not really a pot guy.
Well,
or
here in Massachusetts, it's legal. You can grow a little bit of your
wow.
own for
Then
self.
go. You guys
But
move
that's what
there.
I'm saying. I'm like,
It
that's what I'm saying.
snows though. You
Do
can't
it.
grow anything.
You can do your
Only
little grow
certain
light.
months out of the year you can grow something there.
But I'm just saying here, you can do it yourself for self use. And I'm always telling people I know that smoke it, like, you should grow your own stuff. You have no idea what you're inhaling from
Yeah.
the store down the
That's-
street
yeah,
that's
it
got
could be
chemicals in it.
dangerous.
Oh,
It's
even
very
our food.
dangerous. Yeah.
You know, our food every once in a while they'll use, because other countries can use pesticides that aren't
Yeah.
legal here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's real interesting. But so this is our pot corner of the forum. But let's get back to other
No
true
judgment.
crimes.
No judgment.
No judgment here. You guys do
For all the authors waiting for the Q&A, it's
yeah,
coming.
for all
it's
the
coming.
authors.
Writers,
Put
readers.
down your bowl. Let's talk questions.
It's coming. I promise.
Let's talk questions. But it's going to be, and we do appreciate everyone that's on.
Yes.
We always look at our lives, and we always get some nice DMs. And boy, we're getting some really. We try not to name drop, but boy, there's some national news people and some great artists and some great authors and publishers, and we do always respond to our messages and everything, but we do appreciate you guys watching us. It's really humbling for us to have, to be honest with you, one viewer, so it's fantastic to see so many. But let's get into it. I'm going to get into a couple questions.
Yeah, we have a good amount of questions this week.
Let's see.
They missed me. They missed me
Yes,
last
they
week.
did.
They did
They
miss
did.
you.
Uh, One was to get on us. I finally listened to your show, and you didn't do that. My question, so so I'm gonna do. You could never, we're sorry, but we're gonna get to her question now, and this is exactly what we've been talking about.
Yes.
She says, "I'm against AI. Everyone else says to use it. Should I just not do it, or am I being too old school?"
So I would say two things about this, because I think AI has a pretty bad rap right now going around. There's a lot of negativity about it, and what makes to the headlines are the salacious things, like Selena, sister, having to sue for her likeness being used some ways. But I will say, whenever there's a new technology, if you do not embrace that technology, you are going to eventually be left behind. It's not
Yeah.
going away.
Yes,
It's
I
here.
agree.
It is here. You are going to have to embrace it. So just be smart about it. Don't use it for your writing, for your actual writing. If you want to use it to create posts for you, if you want to use it in helping with your research, if you want to use it to organize your notes, if you want to use it to help you with taglines and advertisement, it's really good for that. If you want to use it to help you find comp authors, there is a slew of things it can do to make your life easier, to keep you organized. Keep using it, keep trying. It doesn't mean you have to use it in everything you do, but don't turn your back on this and think it's going to go away and I'll be fine. I think people who do not embrace it are going to be sorry that they don't embrace it later. But I think you have your own unique voice when you're writing. And remember, and I said this to somebody else, and I've read different posts about this as well. AI has a lot of problems with feelings, with
Yep.
with getting sarcasm, with getting emotion, with getting feelings down between characters. That's why it's so obvious when it's an AI book. So keep writing like you and in your own voice. That's what's unique. That is what's going to sell. That is always going to be wanted by the audience. But I wouldn't just blanket say it's bad, it's awful, I'm not going to use it. There's a lot of things you can do that could help you that wouldn't be violating any sort of artistic integrity that you're trying to keep up with.
Now, Jen, how do you feel about maybe the photos, like, or the back cover or something like that? Because I know I've seen a lot of writers who follow us. When I go and look at their posts, I notice they like their video for maybe the book cover, or maybe a character.
Yeah.
I'll notice that it's AI, and it's done very nicely. What do you think about that?
Yes, see, that's the, if we're trying to straddle a line where it's making your life easier or it's about the art itself, I think I would be careful about using it for the cover. I draw the line and say, is what I'm doing what I'm selling, right? So I don't use it in the book that I'm writing. I don't use it on the cover. But if I would use it for marketing materials, like if you wanted to make a little video or you wanted to do some imagery or some additional things with the image that you already own, that's one thing. I think it's tough to do it as your AI cover. But again, the technology is here. Movies are using it now for opening credits. Jim just said movies are hiring their first AI actress. Like, eventually, you're not going to be able to get away from it, and you're going to have to make that decision, and it's probably going to be driven financially, right? You're probably going to say, I can spend $2,000 with an illustrator who's going to draw my cover, or I can spend 500 and have an AI draw the cover, or do it myself and save a lot more money. So it's probably going to be driven by financial, but I think if you can, you keep away from it. If you're selling something to somebody, it shouldn't be AI. It should be
Yeah.
your unique artistic thing, but you can certainly use it in marketing materials and to help you promote and to help you with your website, to help you with your posts. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Be real and be authentic, but
Yeah.
use it to enhance what you do.
Exactly.
That's why we
In
always
addition
tell
to.
people, yeah, you don't want to just, throw things out there, because I'm seeing all these podcasts that have these perfect things and plus they cost a fortune, some of these programs, or to have someone do it. If you're not really, if you're just starting, I don't get why. I know one guy that just started a podcast and he spent almost $9,000.
Oh my God.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have 10 views. He
Yeah.
goes, how do you get so many? I only have 10. And I'm like, well, why? It's like your first car. You don't give
Yeah.
a Lamborghini to well, some do, but 16 years old, you don't want a high performance vehicle. In a
I had a
16-year-old's car.
1984 Buick Skylark, and it looked like it had been through the war. That was my very first car. You probably could have hit it and not damaged it. It was like a
Those
tank.
are good cars, though.
That's the car you have for your first
I
car.
had a Toyota Corolla. It was beat up, but it ran like a top. So
I had a Mazda.
Yeah.
Since we're sharing.
but
That's
now
your
here's
car. That's your first car.
yeah, but I think that this was really a big thing too. The number one thing that I think people are making problem with podcasting, with writing, with books, is you got to market your butt off.
Yeah.
You can't. There's a guy podcasting right now in the group I befriended. I'm not going to name him. I don't want to embarrass him, but he's a nice guy. But he just said, I've been doing podcasting for 2 years. I can't get past 50 views. And I said, how do you market it? And he said, well, I bought YouTube. I bought Facebook ads, which to me is so expensive, but and all these other Instagram ads and all that. And I said, how'd that work out for you? And he said, bad. I said, you have to market, get with your people, as Florence always says, find your people and market. If you do not market your podcast, if you do not do that, if you do not grow your base, if you do not grow in followers, you don't have to have 100,000 followers, but if you're not growing all the time, you are going to be left behind, because there's, I think now, 2.5 million podcasts.
Yeah.
And
I believe
you
it.
want to know how many books are out there with people writing?
Millions.
And there's a lot of people that are writing that shouldn't be writing. I'm going to be real honest. And there's some that are really serious, like Jen, that are very talented and are going to make it. But they do it. You don't see the hard work she does behind the scenes. Right now, she'd probably like to be drinking a cab with a nice steak in front of her. I know we would. Florence would like a salmon.
We've got to
little
do a
thing of
whole
salmon.
wine show, just a wine
Yeah.
show, Jim. We have to do just a wine show.
That
But-
would be fun.
Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll do a wine show and how
wine
it
show.
relates to books. We'll do that at the end.
Do like a book, like a sip and
Because anything with wine is good for me.
Sip and read.
But I think this is what's so important, is that if you're just going to throw it out there, I mean, what if there were a million television stations? No one would get anything. And that's what you're up against. Your odds of succeeding are like 10 to 15%. And if you do nothing, if you do something, your odds go way up. So market. follow people that are good followers. A retweet is what you want. A share is what you want. Some love is what you want. Comments, likes are a handshake to me. A retweet is a hug.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
commitment. I always
Yeah.
say a like is really
Yeah.
not a commitment.
No,
It's just to
right.
sort of say,
But
yeah,
if-
I saw it.
But if
Thanks.
someone's sharing your work, that means they care about your work and they're worth it
Yeah.
to go on their timeline. And that's what we are. We like everyone said I was an idiot. Oh, you're stupid. You shouldn't help anybody. You're an influencer. You shouldn't help anybody. Only help celebrities and big accounts. And I did the exact opposite. I
Yep,
helped
same.
people that had 100 followers, 200 followers, and you know what? They became loyal friends, and now they've got 20,000, 30,000, and
look
they're
how fast
retweeting me.
you guys
And
Yeah.
grew.
Jen,
When I
yeah.
met Jen, I've said this before. Jen had like 4,000 followers.
Yeah.
And within a year, not only was she growing day by day, and I was watching it, at the end of the year, she had like almost 40,000 followers.
That's
like it was
crazy.
amazing to me.
What did Mr. Rogers say?
Amazing.
Find the helpers.
Yeah.
Find
Yes,
the
find
helpers.
the helper. And find your audience, like
Yeah.
Florence always says, find your people and make sure that your podcast is unique. Don't be replicating something else. Like, what is this podcast about? Like, it's got to be something that they can't just go find at 10 other places.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, here's an interesting one. I have a lot of interest, and I'm kind of sick of vampires. I'm sick of everybody having
Jeez.
celestial fights. Is there a genre? Because it looks like she has a lot of different interests. Is there a genre you think that is kind of not being the needs aren't being met in regards to books?
That's a really good question. I don't know that I'm the right person, but you can do that research on Amazon. If you actually go to Amazon and search by category, that will tell you how many books they have in there, how many bestsellers are within that group. And the categories are pretty far down into, like, you could go all the way starting from fantasy all the way down to a very niche genre like occult fiction. You can go all the way down to a very specific niche. So if it's fantasy, she could start with fantasy and dig down and look in those different categories at Amazon and take a look and see who are their bestsellers. How many bestsellers do they have in their top 25? Where do they fall in that categorization? And maybe take a look at some of that and look at it. But generally, you should write what you want to read. You should write what you love. You should be in, because that's what you're going to have passion for. If you just go looking for a category like historical romance or something, and you say, oh, I think I can write something in here, it's probably not going to sell, because you need to have that passion. Whatever you feel, even if it's vampires, whatever you feel passionate about, write it and put your own unique spin on it. Like, make your vampires different, make your vampires monstrous, make your vampires, ugly or good looking or, immortal or whatever. Do something different with them. Make them able to go out into the sun. There's a million things you can do to make them unique if that's what you like reading. But start with what you love and what your passion is, and then let the categories and the niches and all that fall where it falls. I don't think I would write from that perspective. I don't know how much success you'll really have in that way.
Now, someone just DM'd me and said, you promised a recipe. So I'm going to give you a recipe. It's a famous recipe from France, from Jacques Pepin. And if you have a nice, really it'll go with any red or white wine. Take some crumbled blue cheese, and you warm up some nuts, walnuts in the oven. Put a little bit of walnuts there. And then you take some honey, put it in the microwave for about 15, 20 seconds, and then pour a little over it, and drink it with your really nice white, wine. It's a dessert to die for. Some people like to use it with Pinot Noir. It's an amazing dessert, and if you get rid of the kids for a night, man, this is one you could even handle, and it makes you look like a chef. So do that one. And also, boy, I'm telling you, Pinot Noir, take broccoli, fresh broccoli, beets, any vegetables that you like, cut them in quarters, all the same side. Make sure they're flat. Put a lot of salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic, and then put it in a 425 oven for however you want to do it, 15 with olive oil, a
Little,
lot
I
of
was gonna
olive
say
oil,
olive
a
oil.
lot of olive oil, and do it for about 25 minutes, however you want. I don't know. Some ovens are, I was reading where some ovens are actually 50 degrees off because
Mm,
they're not calibrated properly. So just do a search. I know my uncle's oven is like a furnace. I mean, it's so hot. But do it, and then take your Pinot Noir with some nice French bread. Oh my God, that is a snack to die for, and even a dinner. Me and my uncle had it one night, and that's all we ate. It was so
yep.
good. Beets are a really, if you don't like beets, or if you love beets, I'm telling you, when you have them roasted, you could put a little
Oh, so
rosemary on
good.
them, a little thyme, crunch in a little thyme, and have it cooked. I'm telling you. Don't forget the olive oil, though. You need the olive oil
Love olive
with a
oil.
lot of good salt and pepper. And I'm telling you, those are meals that are easy to cook. I'm into cooking. I went to chef school a little while, but nothing special. I'm not a chef. I'm not
He's
anywhere
a
near there.
wonderful cook
But
and baker. Let me just say that out.
but
Everyone
anyway, you
is.
do that, and I'm telling. And next week, I'm going to give you a couple desserts that are so easy to make. You could make anybody. Get your lazy husband off the couch and get him to make it for you. Or if you got a lazy wife, have her go learn and do it.
That's me.
Uh,
I'm the lazy wife.
yeah. So
Alan does the cooking.
my thing is,
James is an amazing cook
yeah,
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florence is too. She does some great cooking.
I grew up in a house with two Italian parents from Italy who both cooked all day long. So, of course, you're going to pick things up.
Yes.
But James actually is like a trained cook and
No.
baker. He went to school. He's always shy about it,
Oh,
but he is
No.
an amazing cook. He
Let's
is.
get back to the questions. So
I'm just being honest.
let's
I can
get
cook, but not like him.
let's get back to the questions. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one.
he's always so
I want to
excited when he
do
gets these.
I want to do a romantic book about a chef and a waitress love. You know, they have a love thing in a
Yeah.
very expensive restaurant, and they like to travel a lot. It's just a simple love story. Do you think this is kind of stupid?
Absolutely not.
No.
And again, I think if you have a passion for it, you should absolutely be writing it. If you don't know anything about the restaurant business, and I really don't, um, then that might trip you up if you don't know anything about it. Go to, if you have a favorite restaurant you visit all the time and they kind of know you, see if you can interview a chef.
I think
See if
she's
you
a
can,
waitress.
yeah, see if you can interview someone. And even if you're a waitress, make sure you interview the chef and make sure you don't bumble any of the language. Because whenever you're doing something specific like that, where two people work at the restaurant, with the restaurant being specific and probably 80% of the backdrop, you're going to want to use the language and the lingo, and you're going to want to get things right because people who read it, who know that stuff, might get tripped up by that. But I don't think that that's, I think that's good. I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be interesting. Oh, you could have so many things. I worked in the restaurant. I was not naughty or anything, but boy, there was a lot of. It's
Yeah.
like the hospital, the hospital.
Well, that's probably
Everyone,
what she's seeing. That's probably what
yeah,
she's seeing is like this. I could write a book about this. And again, we write what we know, or we write what we have a passion for, or we write what we're called to write. So if that's what's calling to you, you should definitely write it.
yeah. I remember driving into the parking lot every once in a while. I always wanted to go into work early to see the staff first, and I'd go in at 6:30 or 7, and there was the doctor dropping off a nurse, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
You see all these scandals, and I remember one
Uh,
walking around winking at me. This is between us, right? And I go, I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah.
You do
That's
your,
you
it's
can't
your
you
life.
can't be
You do
involved.
your
Yeah.
thing. But it does happen. But the restaurant's a lot of crazy lives now, lifestyle. Uh, okay, here's the thing. This is the last one. I have. I'm in a rut. What do you do to get you in the mood to write when you're having a struggle?
Yeah, get out in nature. You
Mm.
need to
Yeah.
be outside. You need to get outside. That's generally someone forcing themselves behind the keyboard. There's just nothing better than a little bit of a hike or a nice walk around the neighborhood or go to a park. It's the number one thing that gets most people out. You get the fresh air, you're away from the laptop. Nature is the closest thing to God. Like, go touch some grass, as they say. And that usually can recharge you. The other thing I would say, especially if you're in a city, and that's not so easy to do, and I understand that, is go, for me, like I'm in a city as well. I have an art museum here in the city that I absolutely love. That's absolutely beautiful. Go to the art museum, be around other art and artists, because that can be really helpful too. Other than that, I would say go to the place that makes you feel the most relaxed, the most comfortable. Take a trip, take a road trip, take a day trip somewhere, and just get away from it. That's probably the best thing. But if it still happens when you come back from doing those things, you should go back and look at where you are. Like, if, let's say, it happens in chapter 20 out of a 30 chapter book, go back and read the first, the last couple of chapters, because it might be your subconscious telling you something's wrong with what you just wrote, right? And you need to go back and correct it before you can move forward. Because sometimes writers don't realize everything you're writing, you're going to bed with it. Like, it's deep in your subconscious, like you're living with it, type of thing. So it could be your subconscious telling you something's wrong with what you've already put on paper.
Yeah, it's so we've learned a lot this week, Florence. We learned about pot. We learned about kids don't do drugs.
No.
I've always said I had such a sheltered kind of upbringing, having two immigrant parents from Italy, very old fashioned, very strict. And I have all brothers. So I really had no chance to ever have like a
she's a real
crazy
good
life.
girl.
Listening to him, and I've always told him, Jim has a book in him. He has a book.
Get it out, Jim.
I don't want to be killed. I have
mean,
to wait till everybody's gone first, and then I'll do it.
The story, especially being from California, the celebrities he's met, the type of business, the type of work he's done, college. I mean,
come on.
Oh my God, Jen, don't you agree? Just based on what he said on this show.
No, I will say Jim is well-rounded. He's lived a life, right? There are people that can say, "I really live," and I can say the same. Like, I could, keep up with Jim. Like, I could say the same. Like, you're very well-rounded because of all those experiences.
See, I found my people.
You found your person. No, really, I always tell him the stories he tells me I've seen, but in the movies and on television, even reality TV shows, but not my real life.
No. And to be honest with you, my life's kind of tame compared to
now
a lot
it
of
is
other
because of
people.
me.
Compared to
everybody gets older. Everybody gets. We all get tame when we get older.
But even as a young person, I wasn't we did things. We never were arrested. No convictions.
No, he never got in trouble or anything.
But
that's because he's smart.
We were just naughty. We were just kind of naughty.
And he's smart. But yeah, Alan's the same way as Florence. So when we get together and have some wine, Jim and I will swap more stories.
Jen and I will do shots. You guys could drink mint juleps. How's that?
I'll have a couple of appetizers. That's my thing.
But we really appreciate you guys. The show is just doing so good. Every week we're getting more and more people. Thank you. We really do appreciate your time. And we are the people that we're meeting. Thank you for messaging us after the show and during the week. We're starting to meet more people, and we are going to have a lot of great guests on. It's hard. I remember a famous wrestling podcast. They said the hardest thing is getting guests because people are busy. Some are a little flaky. Some got a lot going on, and they make promises they can't really, do. They mean well, but like I said, but we do have a lot of things going on, and it's really exciting. We enjoy talking to you. We enjoy the questions. We enjoy communicating to you. I got a couple more, but we'll save them for next week because I want to ask a question to the person, to one of the people, because I don't really understand what they were saying. So we'll get that. And again, Braylon, 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. You get better. And we're very excited for you. And you guys, thank you so much. We're very kind. We are working on some of the things you guys are saying. We're to, start doing Patreon and all that. We just, we're doing some stuff. We're not going to do hardcore stuff. We're not here to.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
to
we
milk
don't have
every
the-
dollar out of everybody, but
we don't have a desire for
but
that yet.
we really do appreciate you guys watching out for us, and we do thank you. We do work very hard, and in fact, I'm going to get back to work after the show. So we do work very hard, so we do appreciate your kindness, and we are going to continue to give you little tidbits on marketing, little things. Marketing and the things that are doing, you have all these gurus. It's not hard. The big thing you have to do is be active and be consistent. If you have a show, be consistent. If you have a book, write consistently. It's your job. If you have marketing, it's your job. So you think it's a job, you look at it as a job, and you work at it as a job. And when you start the numbers going up, I mean, I remember when I got my first 1,000 followers, I thought I cured cancer. I couldn't believe 1,000 people would care enough about me to follow.
Right.
And now we've got on our social media, we're approaching 130,000. So it's
so great.
Creating the content's not enough. You need to
Gotta
do the
show
extra step. You have to put it out there for people.
And
so
you're
they
putting
can
yourself
see
out
it.
there. The two of you are putting yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. You have to
Yes.
go out and talk to people, and you have to network, and you have to be out there and willing to participate.
Connections.
So, yeah.
Networking.
Be confident.
So important.
Be confident, be humble, but always be true to yourself and be real.
Yes.
There's too many people faking it till you make it out there.
Yes.
And a lot of haters do not. Some of you say, what do you do with haters? You don't do anything.
You ignore
No.
them.
Ignore them.
You thank them for watching your
Yeah,
stuff.
thanks for the view.
Because they're helping you.
Yeah.
So to all my haters, peace.
Yeah.
I love you. They'll say mean things, but we're
They do.
confident. We know
We've
we
seen
got
it. We've experienced it.
we got
We've
our
experienced it.
stuff together. We're good. We're okay people. Florence is a good person. I'm okay. And but you guys,
He's a good person.
Well, there was someone, Jim, a couple weeks ago that made a comment about old, fat, and ugly, and I said afterwards, I take exception for Florence and I on ugly. Okay, take the rest to the bank because you're going to get old too. But Florence and I are not ugly, so go away.
No, I think that
I didn't even see that. Jim had to tell me after. He's like, people are leaving comments, and I'm like, they're giving us views.
Another one said that we were, they say mean things like you're lying about certain things, you're doing this, and we are very much into research. If you don't have receipts for what you do, then don't put it out. Because I did this and I did that and I did this. No, if there's no, I used to tell my staff all the time, if you didn't, I did that. Well, why isn't it on the medical chart? And I used to say, if you didn't chart it, you didn't do it. And that's the thing. If you don't have receipts, you didn't do it.
Paper trail.
No one
always
cares.
has to be a paper
So
trail.
when you interview people, when you go do something, when you're somewhere, take pictures, take some selfies with you in it. Be proud of what you're doing and be proud of yourself.
If you interviewed someone, put out the audio, put out the
Go
video.
for it.
I'm the first person to say, I do it with everybody online. If I see that they put something out, they've done an interview. I did this recently with Mike Detillier. He does these amazing interviews with Drew Brees, who's a legend in New Orleans. He does these amazing interviews with just a bunch of legendary people in that area, Saints people. I give it to him. They also do remotes. They travel. They go places. He's on the road during certain times of the year. But you see it. You see the videos. You see the photos.
Yeah, he's not saying I met so and so and so and so without a video or a picture.
I did this. I did. I guess anybody could say anything, but put out the video. Put out the audio. I would be the first to compliment you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
First person to say that is awesome.
Celebrate others so they'll celebrate you.
Yeah.
If it's all about you out there when you market, then guess who you're going to have left in the end? You. You're not going to have anybody else.
We're a lonely corner.
So
lonely corner.
find your people, follow us, give us a little DM saying, I'm serious. I want to be on this little vibe cruise you guys are on with positive vibes and doing success. And do that, and we'll be more than happy to help you. If you're sincere and you're hardworking, you're our people. We want you. We don't care if you're old, young, whatever. We
Doesn't
don't care
matter.
what
You have to have
nationality.
a passion
Yeah,
for it.
we just want passionate, kind, caring people.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lot of friends, and it's just so exciting to see everyone doing so good.
And that's the other thing. Speaking of friends, somebody had said the other day, wow, I saw, on your Twitter, Amy Trask complimented you, and this guy from a radio station was saying how, how great it was to meet new media colleagues, and oh my goodness, like you're getting on. And I'm saying, well, yeah, because they see the work, just like
Yeah.
when they're doing it, I'm giving the compliments right back because I see their hard work. And
Yeah.
really, people do respect hard work, because
Mhm.
I've had people bring it up like, oh, so-and-so was so nice to you online. We're just as supportive to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so important to support people. It doesn't matter if they're on television or not, radio or not. It doesn't matter what they're doing outside of Twitter, as long as they're doing good work.
Yeah.
As long as they're being consistent. And again, there's nothing wrong with saying to somebody, you know what? I really like what you're doing. It doesn't take anything away from you to tell somebody, just
No.
because we do interviews.
Exactly.
Because someone said to me, like, oh, you're so complimentary. It's like, well, just because we do interviews doesn't mean we can't tell someone else who does an interview that they're
Right.
doing wonderfully, or telling somebody who did a radio thing, that was really a great appearance you did on that
Right.
radio show, especially us having a radio background. We tend to have a lot of people in that industry follow us, and we follow them. I just always find it very interesting that people think that
There's
being
enough room here
complimentary-
for everybody
Yeah,
to succeed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest cheerleader of anybody who works hard.
Yeah, if you look at even some of the people that we've supported, and we didn't really know them that well. We learned about them from
Yeah.
their work. We complimented. We said we really like what you do, and they don't have to have a lot of followers. They don't have to be a celebrity.
No.
We celebrate them. But remember, there's always going to be someone more talented. There's always going to be someone with more money. There's always going to be someone with more backing. But don't ever let anyone outwork you. And
Yes.
that's what I always
Hard
tell
work.
everybody. Never let anyone outwork you. That's one thing that you can control. Now, obviously, you don't want to be up 22 hours a day, but
Like
you
him.
you want to be working hard all the time, because I'm telling you, if you keep digging on the side of the hill, you're eventually going to get a hole, and
Yeah.
that's what you want to do. Just keep trying. I know some of you are very frustrated. Your books, your podcasts are not doing what you want. It takes time. It takes years. It doesn't. I know
Yeah.
one guy, 3 months. I don't have 100,000 followers yet. Well, no one else does
Oh
either.
my God.
Unless you're,
Again, you have
Brad.
to be famous.
Yeah, unless you're
Yeah,
Brad Pitt,
for
you're
that.
not going to have 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't market. You got to work. So
Yeah.
work hard, be consistent, be positive influence out there. And I don't care if you have 5 followers or 500. Start getting out there, start following good people, and start growing. Because the more you grow, the more eyes are on the prize. You guys are going to be doing great. There's a lot of talented people out there that are starting to follow us, and we're learning. There's a heck of a lot of talent out there, but the only thing that is stopping some of you is the consistency, and you have to work hard. This
So
is not.
important.
I worked hard for a month, and now I'm tired.
A
You know, it's no. You have to work really hard for this, and once it hits, I know one friend. He's the most successful. He has 9 million followers, and he just bought his second house with cash. So cash. So
Wow.
and you know what he started as? A waiter. A
Good
waiter.
for him. Good for
And
him.
he was an immigrant. He was a waiter, and he found a niche, and he did it for like 6 years, and within 6 years he quit his job, and then within 9 years he said I don't even know what to do with the money. It's just unbelievable. And he still does the same stuff he did 9 years ago. He just is
That's
very
amazing.
He's
That's
very
amazing.
passionate.
That
He's
is.
very caring. He's a very soft-spoken person. And when you get that niche, you go for it. Don't copy other people. Be yourself. Be
Yeah.
what you think is going to have confidence in your ideas. You guys will do
Yeah.
great. Some of you are very talented. You just need to get that, that hard work and get the consistency and keep going. there's nights where we do the show and we're like, oh, I don't know, was that good? Or, oh, we didn't have.
Or we're just tired.
We didn't get a million
Yeah.
people. Oh
You know,
my God!
yeah.
And then
We
you
didn't
get
get hundreds this time.
you
What
get
happened?
you get another show, and then you go, okay, this is why we do this. So,
Yeah.
but again, guys, we so appreciate. We care about you. We're going to let you go. Thank you for your time.
Thank
and
you
for
so
your-
much.
for your consideration and
you,
listening to
Jen.
us. And Jen is a rock star as always.
Yes,
I cannot
please
wait.
follow her.
Please follow her. And Jen, where could they find you and your website?
Yeah, so it's jailrothstein.com is my website, and you can find me at jailrothstein1 on X and Instagram.
And where's your book? We forgot to plug your
yeah.
book.
Your book. Show
My
it.
book is here. Here's my book. This is book 1 of my completed Heaven Sent trilogy. And this is following one of a family of 9 that's been sent by heaven to push back on demonic intrusion. And each book follows one of the 3 sisters. So this is Genevieve O'Mara's trials and family dramas to find out what happened to her husband. So really
And what's the name
fun.
of it?
This is Atonement, and this is book 1.
It's the
And again,
Heaven
the
Sent
trilogy
series.
is completed. A lot of people need to know that, like when they go out to start. They don't want to start a trilogy if it's not completed. So
It's completed, so it's Atonement, the Heaven Sent series by author J.L.
Yeah.
Rothstein, and you could find her at jailrothstein.com. Go on her mailing list. She has some great tidbits and updates on all the things that she's doing. She may be doing a really fun thing this month, but we're going to hold off on announcing that. But and Florence, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Florence Carmela. And also, please follow the Forum Media Network. We are on Twitter as well at _the Forum Media. That's where you can find us there too.
So we've rebranded. So we are the Forum Media Network now. So we're getting real serious. It's getting serious. But and then you could find me at Real James Pat on either Instagram or Twitter at Real James Pat, and give me a little message and say you listened to the show and you either hated it or loved it, and you need help or you want to just give a comment. We'd be more than happy for that. But we are so excited for all the things that are happening for you guys and for us. It's going to be a fun year. I'm really excited.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
all
you
so
all
thanks,
for
you guys.
listening. You guys take
Bye.
care.
Bye, Jen.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace. Bye.